Okay, another little training video here. We're going to talk about setting a table in our standard event settings. There's lots of different configurations. We could do rounds and king's tables, and we do squares and all sorts of stuff. So we're just going to talk about the round table right now, but the setting itself will pretty much be the same on all these tables. Now the settings can vary event to event, just depends on what we're doing. But when we talk about a standard event setting, that's what we're going to talk about now, and I will a lot of times list for setup details just standard event settings, so that's what that means. If we need any extra or changed, then I will note that on the MEO or on the setup instructions. So we have a 66-inch round here. First thing when you're setting these tables, we're going to talk about linen another time, so I'm not going to go into linen, but I'm going to talk about chairs. You always want to make sure you have the chairs set and configured first before you do the table settings, so that you know exactly where all the table settings go. If you have an even number of chairs, like this is 8, the chairs are going to be directly across from each other, so you want to make sure that they're straight and to the table and directly across from the chair on the opposite side. And you want to make sure they're evenly spaced, so the chairs are all in the correct spot. If it was an odd number, say this was going to be 9, then each chair is going to face a gap between 2 chairs. So we would have another chair in here, and this one would face, the gap between those 2 chairs, and this would be the gap between those 2 chairs. So you just want to make sure that you're spacing your chairs out right. Once you have your chairs in place, then we can start setting the table. Silverware, our standard event setting is going to be 2 knives, dinner knives to the right side. We're going to do a dinner fork and a salad fork. So a salad fork, dinner fork, and 2 dinner knives. Then in the middle, we're going to do the napkin fold. Our most common is the book fold, but it can vary. Napkin fold in the center, and then we're going to put the B&B plate along with the B&B knife directly over top of the napkin. This is standard. Now, yes, the B&B plate can come over here to the side and be on the side, and there will be times when we do that. But on a table like this, we want to give the guests lots of room. There's more room in the center of the table, so we are going to be putting it up top as a standard, unless otherwise directed. Sometimes king's tables will put it off to the left because they're a little narrower. It just kind of depends on the event, so that can change. Make sure when you're putting the knife on, imagine that the knife were one of these knives and you would put it this way. So with the cutting side facing the guest, you don't want to put it that way, that's backwards. The way to always remember that is example from here to here. Same thing if you were to do a dessert spoon, fork would go that way with the tines facing to the right. So we're going to do a water glass just to the right of the top of the knives. And that's our standard. Sometimes we'll add a wine glass. If we do a wine glass, it will go right on top above the knives, right there. We will set a salt and pepper directly above the last position, and then this one is position 8. And then we put 3 of our votive candles out. That can change depending on the event. If we say votives, then our standard is 3 votives on a round table like this. And that's pretty much the event standard setting. Again, it can vary, but depending on the event. But if you ever see standard setting, this is what we're looking for. We're going to set it. This table still needs to be detailed, so don't think that it's done. Glasses should be polished, or silverware, just double check plates and everything. We would pre-fill the water glasses, but want to make sure the bases and everything are good. So that's our standard setting. So thank you very much.